ability to tell a story can literally change and transform your life. It most certainly has for me. It can land you your first job. It can get you a second date on your first date. It helps you be remembered. It also can be the difference of your business excelling and succeeding or failing. It has been around since the ancient times of times, and you can experience it be reborn every single day. You can see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, yet it is completely invisible. And it exists in every single country in the world and can be taken everywhere. The power of storytelling has been around since the beginning and can evoke so many of our senses when you are enthralled in a compelling story. A story can help captivate you and hook you in and get lost in the story, in the narrative, and you enter the storyteller's world as if you were there. You can feel what the storyteller feels. You can experience it as if it is happening to you, all from the power of stories. Think about the traditions and the customs and the norms that have been passed down for generations. Or remembering the intricate stories that your grandparents or your parents or your aunties told you, and you were just amazed and wowed and shocked and almost like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. All through the power of storytelling. It is extremely important, especially for your business and if you want to scale and grow your business all online. And it's crucial for helping engage your audience, especially in this highly competitive and saturated market. There's so many people maybe doing what you do, and the way you set yourself apart is by telling your unique story. Because simply put, there is only one of you, and nobody knows and can tell your story best but you. And this is how you structure your sales letters, your emails, your campaigns, your website copy, and your content right here on social media. And so today I'm super excited to be bringing on Miss Leah Thompson at Leah_Thompson_Co. She is your go-to brand consultant and coach expert, helping you define the art of storytelling and brand through branding. And then today we are going to share with you a 4-part framework that has helped us use storytelling in our messaging to connect with our audience and create content that sells. Excited to have you. So before we dive in, I wanted you just to share a little bit more about yourself and your story about how you became.
So I have a background in web design. In college, I worked for a web design company as the escalations manager, and project manager. So I dealt with like our high ticket clients who needed their websites built out and their projects and niches. And then I also dealt with everyone who was mad. So I knew like firsthand exactly like what business owners who were moving to an online platform really needed and like their struggles. I started my own business in 2015, and my husband, he started his own business in 2016. We've been self-employed ever since. And so we've managed a number of businesses over the time. And I've had the pleasure of kind of learning through trial and error all of the ins and outs of managing like social media, Instagram, all that stuff from a business's standpoint. And through that, I got a great passion for businesses and understanding their struggle. And from an artistic standpoint, I had this hobby of photography, and that kind of got me in that world of image creation and storytelling through imaging.
Me and Leah met a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about the power of branding and storytelling through imagery and through colors and different things like that. And I was like, oh my God, more people in this space need to know that. And so one of the first elements, which we're going to dive into now, is how to master the hero's journey. And if you guys haven't heard of the hero's journey, the framework that we're talking about is used in Hollywood, in movies. It's what they follow, and this is why like you can't wait to go see a movie and like you fall in love with the movie while you're watching it through these frameworks that we are going to share with you today, and you will learn how to implement this into your content and your messaging. With the hero's journey, you want to think of it as like your story or a client's story has awakened to their potential through setting out on a difficult journey or path that ultimately they triumph and overcome through the adversity that they go through. And their first is like a departure. And so when you set off on a journey, there's like an initiation where you feel unfamiliar, you're uncomfortable, there are challenges that you face and encounter, and then finally there's a return and a breakthrough. And that's where you overcome the struggles that you were facing. Now you're stronger, you're wiser, you're more encouraged, you're more energized. And so how many of you have experienced your own hero's journey or a client's hero journey? And so, Leah, I would love for you to share your
Yeah,
personal hero journey, and then
absolutely.
I'll
I
share
mean,
mine.
honestly, like you were saying at the very beginning of this video, this is applicable not just in business. We all have a hero's journey. And so for me personally, it was the struggle of learning on my own and like knowing that we wanted the life for ourselves and raising kids. We wanted to be self-employed. We didn't want to be at the mercy of the pay and hours of working normal jobs. Even though it's harder work to be self-employed, it definitely fit what we envisioned for me and my husband's life. And so it wasn't easy, and it definitely was a struggle. And it took lots of like help along the way from people who inspired me, who gave me free education, like lots of like effort through master classes and things, and taking courses. And then obviously, like you and I, we met through a coaching course, and this is really where it takes off, where it's that whole you set off on this journey, you're learning and struggling and stumbling along, and then you find somebody who kind of grounds you and guides you. And now it's sort of this breakthrough of understanding the potential that there is. And then you want to help others. Like all of a sudden, it's sort of turning outwards from yourself to others.
That key thing that you just said, as you're going through your journey and the challenges and struggles and adversities you face along the way, yes, you can try to do it yourself, but ultimately if you have a guide, a mentor, a coach to help guide you, it helps streamline that process. It helps give you clarity, and you're able to reach that breakthrough and that end goal a lot faster. And then similar to yourself, you and your husband, you wanted, to find freedom, and you were trying to do it yourself, and then you invest in a coach. And yes, me and Leah met in a coaching program. Molly Mansky, shout out to Molly. Once you hire that coach, it helps make it easier. So for me, I can think of two different situations. One is when I first had my fitness journey. I was like yo-yo dieting. I didn't know what to eat. I didn't know how to work out in the gym, and I was really unhappy. And I just didn't know what to do. I was fed up. And so what did I do? I hired a coach. I hired a personal trainer. I hired a nutritionist, and I followed the plan. All of a sudden, my body changed. I felt better. My acne cleared up. I had really bad acne. And other people were asking me, how did I do it? And my coach at the time was like, you should be a trainer if you really love this. And that's how I started my fitness business. Fitness business is going well, and I wanted to try to transition out of that and move. And I started falling in love with coaching because other fitness trainers were asking what I was doing. There was challenges along the way in regards to, like, sometimes you invest in the wrong coaches, or you're focusing on the wrong things. Like if you go see our last reel, focusing on website, logos, pretty color, thinking this is how you're going to get your clients. No. Wrong thing to focus on. Then I got a show and help lead me the way, especially when it came to content and messaging. And then boom, now here we are. Leah has created Art of Branding, which is an amazing program. You're looking to really elevate your specific business with your branding. And then I have Convert to Scale. And so that is how we got here today. And so ultimately, you sharing your story, you sharing your testimony, how you got to where you are today, what adversities you experienced, what are the biggest lessons that you learned, and what are some of the aha moments, and who was a mentor that helped guide you to get to where you are today. And if you haven't invested in a coach, like, have you invested in a coach? Now's the time. Now's the time. Leah is your coach. I am your coach, depending on.
Yes. Well, and I really want to say also that when you're going through this journey, you're going to everybody hits a point where you realize you don't know what you don't know. And like how grounding, when I mentioned like being grounded by a coach, it's like all of a sudden it all makes sense. Like things that you're just like, it's not clicking. I don't know what it is. It like all of a sudden makes sense.
That is the key, clarity. A coach will help give you clarity where things start making sense and the puzzle pieces start fitting together. And then now you have this beautiful picture. And so next after that is future pacing. And so what that is you walking your audience through the process of imagining themselves in their ideal dream future, their ideal dream outcome in life is what they ultimately desire to achieve. And the key is to know and understand what is that one thing, a singular benefit that your client is looking for. And this could be multiple things, but the key is to focus on what is the big main outcome that they want. And then you help them discover that through future pacing throughout your messaging to help your audience visualize their dream life. This is the life that they will have after working with you as their coach because you're giving them the solution, and then this is the outcome that they're going to achieve from their biggest pains, their problems, and their frustrations. Because one thing is that's powerful about the brain, and that we all have the power to tap into, is the brain can't tell the difference between a positive memory that has happened years ago compared to a future positive dream or outcome or aspiration. It will think it's the same. And if your mind can think it, it can happen. And so growing up, my mom always would tell me, I'm sure you guys have heard of this before, you can believe it, you can achieve it. And that's why visualization and daily affirmations, I don't know if you, Leah, you do this yourself, they're so powerful. I tell myself, I listen to these things every single day. And for your ideal client avatar, have them imagine that becoming their current reality, that outcome, and helping them tell their brain that it's already happened and that
yes, it's funny that you mentioned your mom, because when I hear you say that, I think of my mom. Her thing, and it's like a mantra I keep in my mind, is conquer intimidation. And so it's something that she like always says. She's like, oh, conquer intimidation, and it's like, I'm sometimes my worst enemy, get in my own head. And so reminding myself, conquer intimidation, it's my own too. Like not just comparing myself to others, but in my own head.
Yeah, and like how many of you like an audience like have yourself, like you have to conquer your own intimidation. You have to shift your beliefs because you have these doubts and these negative thoughts coming in, and you have to like eliminate them, block them, move them. It's like, no, I can, I am, I will, I shall. And like, don't believe that. Do not believe that. Don't look and compare the glitz and glamour. That's what you see. Just know that you are on your own journey, and everything's going to take time, and it can happen. And that's the key element when you're doing future pacing and you're using it in your messaging with your audiences, to be highly specific within your messaging and present words in the present tense to your audience, so as if it's already happening. So I don't know if you have an example.
100%. I mean, one of the biggest things, especially so from like an artistic standpoint, when I would do like branding and we're visualizing like, hey, we're going to create a story with this imagery. A lot of it is what feeling do you want to evoke? And like, let's get in that mindset, because it shows up in your camera, like it shows up in the picture. If you have doubt, if you have insecurities, it's going to show up. And so it's like, let's get comfortable. Let's overcome these limiting beliefs that are keeping you from showing up fully and authentically.
Yeah, it's the power of imagery. Like, yeah, you can, like, a picture can tell you 1,000 words. And it's almost like our face can make so many expressions, and you're walking around your day and someone can, or like, what's wrong? Just by your facial expression. Like they can tell if you're happy, if you're down, if you're sad, if something's bothering you. And so that is when it comes across in your messaging. And if you think about words, some examples like, okay, saying you woke up energized. It's empathic versus really painting the imagery is like, you wake up and you don't hear the buzzing alarm going off. You hear the waves lapping at the bottom of your bungalow and sound of the beautiful birds chirping outside your window. And you raise your arms, you take a deep breath because you're so grateful that you woke up today and you're experiencing the warm, soft, silky duvet on your skin. Someone told you you would be experiencing this a couple weeks ago. You were like, oh no, that's crazy. This is not something I believe that can happen. It's a lot more, it's more detailed and specific in regards to your messaging. And so you can hear the difference. And so comment and share, if you guys who are here present, about a future pacing experience or statement that you can tell yourself. And that's powerful about affirmation. Like, do you have it, a affirmation that you tell yourself?
Well, I mean, aside from the conquer intimidation mantra, that's something I definitely live by. But a lot of it is definitely, okay, it's actually a song. So like a lot of songs, like rhythm and everything that like speaks to my soul. And it's something to remember. But like, you know, that song that was really popular where it's like, I am woman, I am fearless, I am sexy, I'm divine. Like, and so sometimes I'll like kind of sing that to my head. And it's sort of this reminder of like, I am bigger than I feel. And like, there is so much more to accomplish. And when it comes to being present in the moment, it's like, what do I smell? What do I feel? That's why I love this example you gave of, instead of just saying, I woke up energized, it's like, no, you're aware of your surroundings, your touch, your smells, your senses. And that's like being present, meditation, mindfulness. Like I live by those daily, where it's very much being in the moment. And being aware of like your surroundings, the smell of your coffee, the feel of the mug, the warmth radiating into your hand. Like that's one of my favorite things in the morning, tea or coffee, like in the morning. It's bringing you present and in this moment, because we can always get bogged down into the comparison. Like when we're on social media, it just comes with the territory. You want to be like them. Oh, they look so successful. But instead of going outwards, you're going to go inwards and say, I am so successful. I am feeling, I am doing this. I'm accomplishing this.
Yes, I hope you guys are hearing this and writing this down. Like some of these affirmations that she just dropped, like those are affirmations you should put somewhere. I'm actually going to put conquer was intimidation. Like I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put it like on, I have like all these sticky notes on my desk, like of affirmations that I just look at. That's another one that I'm adding, but that's so powerful. And so when you start doing that, again, that's going to help connect with your audience. They're going to be able to feel, they're going to be able to see, visualize, and they're going to be able to connect with you even more. And so after future pacing is the troublemaker. And so what do you guys think of when it comes to the troublemaker? Nothing is more interesting than trouble. Think about the reality TV shows and all the drama that takes place, because it's what sells. And drama creates attention, and therefore your story becomes more memorable, interesting, and effective. And so trouble, you want to reflect about the problem that your product or service is going to help attempt solve after working with you. And so first is the foundation, where you're setting the scene, you're setting the stage, and you might be describing the character or yourself, and then building up the tension that is just naturally anticipated. Oh my gosh, something terrible really goes wrong. And so that's where the storm comes in, where you start your story right in the middle of mayhem, capturing your audience's attention. And that is where I talk about like having hooks. Hooks are really, really good with your content, especially a controversial hook that's going to help hook them in and add curiosity. And they're going to be like, wait, what? And they want to keep watching. They want to keep scrolling. They want to keep reading, because now they're drawn into your story. And that's why you draw in your audience by using trouble. So you describe like specific emotions, season, time, activity, location, mood, sound, smell, the senses. And so I would love, Leah, if you can share like how you relate that to branding in your messaging.
Yeah, so
and with your story.
The way that I would paint that for branding would be, this is where it's the most saucy and relatable as well. Like people, like you were saying, they just are drawn to the drama. So as a business, you have experience, whether it's a Karen customer or whether it's a hard, oh man, this one time I really effed up. Like, or if it's I used to work for a skeezy web design company. They were absolutely a scam. And so it's like this saucy, ooh, like I want to hear more. And then it can be related back to why you are doing, why you are doing what you're doing. Like, and that can drive your passion. It draws people to gain more trust. Like that part of your story, not only like draws attention and shock and awe, but then they are like, oh, they're telling it as it is. Like, and it's this very trusting experience between you and your clients.
If you just hopped in, you might be confused of where we are, what we're talking about.
Yes.
So make sure to come back and watch the replay. And so once you have implemented trouble, where now you're making your audience, actually this is next. Now you have to make your audience problem aware, and how you do that is the before and after bridge. And this works because it helps move your client like through the journey, and from focusing on like the features, the tools to the benefits of the solution of how, again, you are going to help them improve their life from what they're currently struggling with right now. And so in the before, you're showing your audience what it's like before working with you, before the solution. And this is where you make them problem aware and identify with the problem that they're currently facing, experiencing, or that's causing the frustration. For example, like I always like to use fitness, nutrition related examples, because I did that for so long. But it's like, okay, you're tired of eating boring salads to get to your goal. You don't have much time in the kitchen to cook because you're running around all day with work and the kids. And you really, really want to reach your goal of dropping this body fat. You're looking for a quick and easy solution to savor and enjoy your meals throughout the week that will help you lose the stubborn belly fat, and also your kids will enjoy, versus, again, boring salads. And so that is where you, as the expert, if you're a nutrition or fitness coach, come in and show your audience what the world would look like after working with you and implementing your unique frameworks, your unique strategies, your methods of how to drop those stubborn inches. And so it's like, you can reposition that when you're talking to your audience, like, but imagine if you could enjoy quick, easy, simple, delicious meals that your kiddos can enjoy too, done in less time, less dimes, and you can fit into that bodycon dress in less time. Now as the coach have created a gap. You're bridging the gap from your ideal audience to actually fill. And now all you need to do is put your product or service in that gap, which gets them from A, where they currently are facing and having, pains and problems, to their end goal and outcome. And that's where your CTA or your call to action comes in. And I always stress, always, always, always having a call to action in all of your content. And so your call to action will be like, apply now and fill out this quick questionnaire to help you get paired the best foods for your lifestyle and nutrition preferences to help you achieve your body goals in less time. My goal is to help you have a personalized, savory meal experience, stress-free, that the kids can enjoy too. And if I was a mom, that's speaking directly to me, because I know when I first had Adele, I don't know about you, Leah, as a mom, like I was like, I feel bad, like, oh my gosh, I'm just don't know what to eat. I'm tired of eating this stuff. And yeah, you want your audience to feel seen, feel heard, understood, and that you're giving them an easy solution to fix their problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is a beautiful example that you just gave, Elle, where it is very much this beginning and end result, and then you sort of fill that gap of like, this is how I get you there. I would see that in so many others. Like, so my husband, he opened his own therapy practice. That's where a lot of this like education came for me. And like one of the things is basically what you said specifically, it spoke to you because you're a mom, right? And it's targeting your audience that you want. So like, instead of him just saying, hey, I offer therapy, that's super general. Who is he talking to, right? And so we narrowed it down to couples, okay? We narrowed it down to couples and then demographic, like in the area, or geographic. And so we were very much like, okay, in Washington State, okay, north of Seattle. Like we got even more specific because his was definitely more like in person. It wasn't virtual. However, with him branching out, like when 2020 hit, he branched out to more virtual. And so this looked more like, we need to be specific about what issues couples run into, and then like what kind of common issues that we can address and how you solve those. And so what you were just saying, where it can be like, hey, like people come in saying it's a communications problem. All right, well, like what communication? Let's say, okay, he just can't put the dishes away. And so you make something relatable. Like my husband doesn't know how to put the dishes away. I feel like I'm like carrying the weight and I'm literally going to dunk his head in the toilet if he does it again. And so, and then he would come in with the whole, like, can you imagine a world where you can have these kind of hard conversations and not be at each other's throat? And then call to action of, call today to get a 15-minute consultation and let's see if you're a right fit. And then let's get you into this program to work on your relationship. And so this formula is really great for no matter what your niche is.
Oh, that's so good. I can use some tips from your husband, because sometimes I have problems communicating with my husband about small things, and we're working on that. But no, I communicate. That is what it comes down to. It comes down to communication and really connecting with your audience on a deeper, more sensory level. Because again, connect to someone's like they can feel it, they can see it, they can smell it, like they can visualize themselves there. That's how they're really going to connect with your brand and your story and your messaging.
The more
to eventually want to work with
you can get, the better.
And so, yeah, the more specific you can get, the better. And I loved how when you were explaining things, it was like the dunk in the toilet. I envisioned that. It's like that popped in my head. That actually happened. Like, tired of the dishes in the sink or something, whatever. And like, boom, like I can just see it happening. And that's what you want. That's so funny. I love it. And so just to recap, you guys, the secret sauce for storytelling is the hero's journey, future pacing, the troublemaker, and the before and after bridge. And again, we went through all of this. If you missed anything, go back and watch the replay for all the details. But if you start implementing this into your messaging, you're going to see a change and a shift within your content, within your audience connecting with you, and starting getting more sales on autopilot. And so if you need help specifically, I can help you. Just DM the word story, and I will share with the next 5 people who are ready to take action my money-making messaging formula for a limited time special rate. And Leah, I know you have
taking in a limited number of one-on-one. The Art of Branding program is a very intensive program where I help businesses start from A to Z, like rebranding. We go over, if you already have a brand established, we assess that. We look over your social media. We audit your website. It's a full intensive thing, and I only take 10 clients per quarter because I want it to be very individualized. So seats go really quickly. They open up on the 14th, but DM me branding to get on that list.
Oh, I love that. That's so good. You guys took away some excellent ideas and insights to start sharing your stories and creating content so you can start selling more with ease. And so if you found this helpful, make sure to go follow us. There's a little button at the top where you can go follow us. That's at Thompson_co, at DL Cottrell. Subscribe. And if you want to find out any more of how you can work with us, again, reach out to Leah, reach out to me, DM branding to Leah, DM story to me, and
Thank you.
we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.